What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, giving y'all the second video today. We're going to talk about the New York Knicks, the team that nobody's seen coming into this year. Even the Knicks fan, they've been loyal, they've been faithful. They have ride and died for this organization through all the chaos that it has done and all the brutalness that they have done to their fans. They still have stayed loyal to this franchise in this brand, and it's beautiful to see the Knicks not only do the unbelievable. Nobody seen this team being a playoff team. Nobody seen this team having home court advantage coming into this year, but they do, and they are here, and they are a real team. They defend amazingly, better than what I thought. Tom Thibodeau coached a lot of teams, and he has been able to instill a good defensive scheme on a lot of his teams that he have coached, even as an assistant coach. To be honest, give him credit for that too, and it has worked. These players have listened, they have bought in, they have wanted the challenge, they have wanted to be great, and they wanted to, defend and play hard, and they did that the entire season. Even in the beginning of the year, I was kind of looking at it like the Knicks gonna fall off, they gonna fall off, but they never did. If anything, they took what was working and they built upon it, and they have played even better since the beginning of the season. That's why they're in the fourth seed right now, and I have to give them a lot of credit. They stayed together. Even when they looked at ugly, even when they probably doubted themselves, they continued to put in the work. They continued to trust each other. They continued to believe in each other and play with each other. And they figured it out. They grew, they learned, and they continued to put in work. I feel like these guys have played so much better than a lot of us anticipated, even individually, even as defenders. They don't really have guys that stand out to you as great defenders. And they have done it collectively and became a great team defensively. And you have to give them credit for that. The crazy thing about this is the Hawks are one of the worst each and every year, no matter what their coach is. And their offense is fantastic. Trae Young has been an all-star already. He has had a very good season this year. And he has been one of the highlights of the life. He has really put on shows. He has really shown that he's small, he's little, but he can lead wins. It's just like the Knicks. They was not a playoff team the first 2 years, and here they are, a top five seed in the East. Once they gave Trae Young a legitimate stream of talent to play with, he has produced a winning record, and it didn't take nothing but one season, as he has finally had a legitimate supporting cast, and they spent a lot of money this summer to make sure that he did, and they did it. They was a team that was off and on with Lloyd Pierce. They wasn't that good, and they was figuring things out. But once they got rid of him, they just started winning and winning. No matter who was healthy, who was injured, they just figured out how to win games, and you have to give a credit to them. They have been just as resilient as the New York Knicks. They have been better. I had the Hawks finishing at the bottom of the East in the playoff picture, and they have rose up to being one of the better ones instantly since they hired Nate McMillan to be their full-time head coach. And he has been a playoff coach. But the problem with Nate McMillan has been he hasn't been able to get out of that first round. And that's going to be the question. Does he have enough adjustments? Can he get the best out of this team, even if they're not great defensively? Can he find enough to get this series? They believed in him. They wanted him. They talked him up. Now they got him, and he delivered so far. But can he get the monkey off his back and get this team out of the first round against a feisty New York Knicks team? Julius Randle has been my most improved player. He has been the demand for All Star, and he got that. Not only did he get that, but he's an All NBA player to me this year too. He is the best player in this series, and I can't believe that I'm saying that, but it is probably the truth. He has been a great playmaker, absolutely versatile on the offensive end, hitting threes at above 40%, being able to rely on the mid-range pull-up and the fade, and also to pull up mid range without even dribbling. He has been reliable in fourth quarters. He has been healthy, and he has been a solid defender and rebounder. Give him credit for that too. RJ Barrett has still been a little hit or miss. His efficiency has come up. His free throws have come up. His 3 point percentage come up. His scoring ability has been better than ever this year. But he still has another level to go. And he's not there yet. But they're going to need him to do that because this is not a great scoring team. And they're going to need guys to be able to make shots because the Hawks can come at you and they can rain them on you. And this team is going to have to be able to keep it close. They're going to have to be able to keep the lead to seal this series. And Derrick Rose has been a great acquisition. Dennis Smith Jr. did absolutely nothing for this team, and they trade him in nothing to get Derrick Rose, an NBA player that actually has been a huge contributor to this team, being able to break down the defenses, being able to get to the paint, being able to get to that push shot, and from time to time get the threes, and he's letting them go too. And Derrick Rose have looked motivated. He has looked inspired, and he looks like he's on a team that he really wants to play for, and he has been a great pickup for them. I wasn't crazy over it, but he has made it legitimate that he was worth, what they gave up was basically nothing to me, and he has played better than anything they could have gotten. And the fact that they can also bring him back, and he knows his role, he knows how the team is, and he already knows what they need him to do. He can be, probably the steal of this trade deadline, or one of them, because he has been that much of a good impact on this team. Emmanuel quickly has been pretty solid too. They picked him up and they gave him a shot, and he's been able to knock down shots. And you also have guys like Nerlens Noel that has been a great defender for them, protecting that paint. You also have Bullock being able to spot up and hit those threes and give space to guys like Barrett and Randall so they can operate. I can go on and on about the Knicks, but you also got to look at Danilo. He has been a little bit disappointing this year, but he is a guy that can win you a game by hitting some threes and knocking down some big shots. You got John Collins. We know how big he can play, being able to space out the floor, rebound at a good level, and also be a guy that can give problems to certain matchups. And, he's an offensive weapon, and they're going to utilize him to the best of their ability. Bogdanovich has been amazing for them, has helped them win a lot of games, has really been a key difference maker, especially since the injury to some of their wings. You bring in a bunch that have depth at that position, and that was a good decision because it has paid off so far with this team. Having guys like Hunter, Danilo, Solomon Hill, and guys also like Cam Reddish and Bogdanovich, and just to have an abundance of guys that can make plays and shoot and also defend a little bit because they have the size for those positions, just gave them the depth at the positions that Trae Young in college doesn't play. But we also got to look at Clint Capilla. This guy has been a beast, rebounding at an elite level, finishing at an elite level, defending at an elite level. They brought him in to be a rim protector. They brought him in to gobble up boards, and he has done that. The Atlanta Hawks won the Clint Capilla trade already because he has just been that much of a difference maker. He does all the small little things that they needed him to do. And he has done it even better than what we thought he could do. And you have to give him credit that he has been one of the best centers in the NBA because he knows what he's supposed to do. And he took that with pride and literally destroyed the NBA this year. Nobody thought that Drummond was going to get caught for the rebounds, and Clint Capella was able to do it very quickly and held it. And I did not know Clint Capella can rebound at this level, but he has done it. When I look at this series, this is a contrast of two styles. One team that likes to be grindy and gritty and beat you up and be physical and force you into ugly offense, and one team that just can't be stopped when they're clicking and making shots. I'm going to have to go with the Hawks on this one. I know it's a shock, but I just don't see the Knicks being able to score enough points consistently to stay with the Hawks. Their defense is going to have to be on clamp to stop this Hawks team because they have so many guys that can make easy ones, tough ones, long ones. that you have to pay attention to basically everybody on the court for the Hawks. Their ability to go big, their ability to go small, their ability to have multiple wings at the same position that can always be a threat. Especially when you have Trey Young, a guy that can go for 25 to 30 plus whenever, while also collecting a lot of assists. If you play him too hard or you give him space, he's gonna pick you apart. He's a great playmaker. He's a good decision maker and is still improving. But this is a prove it for Julius Randle and RJ Barrett and a lot of these guys, but it's also the same for the Hawks. Both of these teams have guys that have played in the playoffs, and both of these teams have stars that need to prove themselves in the playoffs. As both of these guys have been all stars, and both of these guys have been known in the draft to be difference makers, and they have become that, and they have become the faces of these franchises. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna have to go with the team that I know can put the ball in the basket a little bit more, and it's the Hawks. The Knicks are really gonna have to play hard to win this series and pull up, which some people will believe an upset. But the Knicks got heart, the Knicks got will, the Knicks got strength. So it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be a must-watch series. But I do think the Hawks just have a little bit too much. Um, for the Knicks to be able to keep up with, because the Knicks really get hard, tough buckets, and if they miss a couple in a row, that can be devastating against a team like the Hawks. And I haven't really seen too many teams that's been able to stop this Hawks team, and that's why I think they should be able to do just enough to win or to have a cushion to close out games. And that's why I have the Hawks winning in 7. And this is going to be a pick 'em series. I don't think it's a right or a wrong answer, but this is just good for basketball. And it's actually good for the Eastern Conference to have a series where people really don't know which one is which way to go, who's going to win. And they completely two different teams, a fancy team versus a grindy team and gritty team, and want to muck it up, and a team that is flashy and showboaty in the Hawks. But I don't have to go with the Hawks getting it out. Very, very slim in 7. Let me know what you guys agree or disagree with. Let me know what I slept on or didn't mention in the comment section below, and I'll be back with the next predictions tomorrow. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm going.